Good morning, or good afternoon, or happy Tuesday. Welcome. I hope you're all in a good mood. I hope you're comfy. Over the next 2.5 hours, we're going to explore a polynomial equation for creating a more efficient door knocking route. Can you imagine? Yikes. Hey, listen, today's going to be about door knocking for fun and profit. Door knocking for fun and profit in 3 easy steps. My name's Sean Purcell. I've been coaching salespeople for over 10 years now. I've been coaching athletes a lot longer than that. I've also been in real estate for over 30 years, but we're not going to spend any time calculating what that means. About a month ago, Coach Christopher Paul hosted a really good webinar on door knocking. It was full of strategies and tactics and tips. If you haven't seen it, I strongly suggest you go back and watch it. I think the date was July 11th, but you can find it on our site. Today, what I want to dive into with you guys is door knocking from a little different perspective, more of a checkup from the neck up, right? Mindset and dialogues are my area, and really dialogues are just a specialty area of mindset, right? We know that they can have a profound impact on the success of an activity like door knocking. So when we finish today, you're going to walk away with 3 keys that unlock 3 doors to successful door knocking. See what I'm doing there? The first key is we got to make it fun. The second key, we have to make it fearless. And the third key is we have to make it easy. I'm going to take questions at the end so that I can get through all this. I think there'll be some time left at the end. So let's get started with step 1. Make it fun. Most of the people we work with, there's fear associated with going out and door knocking. I'm going to tackle that in a minute in the make it fearless part. But what triggers the fear? It's the judgment. It's the critic who's attending the performance, because that's how they feel when they're door knocking. This is a performance. It's like public speaking. It's almost a universal fear. You can almost see it in your head, right? As you're standing at the sidewalk, oh, that long walkway up to that scary door and the imposing door that's growing bigger and bigger. It's like a cartoon. And then it opens, dum, dum, dum. Time to perform. Perform, little agent. Got an unhappy critic standing there at the door. The dinner's been disrupted. They're missing their favorite episode of Three's Company, whatever's going on. Their job is to critique what you say and to crush your dreams. That's what makes this thing not fun. How do we solve the problem? Phone a friend. Phone a friend. The most important step in fun is having someone do it with you. You really need to door knock with somebody else. It changes the entire game. And I'm going to share with you why. First of all, you're not performing for the homeowner. They become a passive audience. You're performing for each other. You make it fun by having a partner in crime. It removes all the stress. Now we focus on challenging each other and having fun with it. Let's impress each other with who delivers lines the best, right? Let's make each other laugh. Let's try to one-up each other with objection handlers. Let's go head to head with who can celebrate the most. Celebrate? Yep. Celebrate's what's going to bring us to key number 2. You're having fun. You have a partner in crime. Now we need to make it fearless. What is it that we fear? Rejection. And this is not an easy fear to deal with. This is a deep fear. This is a genetic fear, right? This goes back 100,000 years. Caveman days. If you got separated from the group, you died. If you got rejected by the group, you died. If you stood out and people said, we don't want you anymore, you died. Now, 100,000 years later, we go into sales and we tell people, stand out. Don't be part of the group. That's a deep-seated fear. As coaches, we're not going to just remove that. There's no magic wand that makes that go away. But what we can do is we can reframe it. Stop thinking of this as rejection. I often use the story. I want you to think of a heart surgeon. Heart surgeon walks up to you and says, hey, how you doing today? Any heart palpitations? Anything feel wrong? And the person says, no, I feel tip top. Thanks for asking. Does the doctor walk away rejected? Can't believe they wouldn't let me cut their chest open and work on. Of course not. The doctor celebrates. You're not being rejected. Listen, selling a home ranks in the top 3 most stressful things in life, according to these polls. And if you think about it, it's physically stressful, it's emotionally draining, it's mentally exhausting. Doesn't that sound a lot like a disease? When you come at it from that perspective, an agent is really a real estate doctor. Start thinking of yourselves as a real estate doctor. You can even talk to people about symptoms when you go knock on their door. Hey, is the house feeling, a little too tight around the midsection? Might need a bigger home. Or is it becoming kind of loose and baggy? We don't need that. Maybe we should be downsizing. Hey, do you know anyone who's attending open houses? Advanced symptoms. I need to talk to them right away. There's no rejection. There's just not a need for the service. And since the thing that requires that service is so painful, we should be celebrating with them. I mean, what are we really doing? We're just a couple people out there curing real estate diseases and creating millionaires. Oh yeah, that's the other side of this. Ask your more tenured agents, people who've been doing this for a while, to look back over their career. How many of their early clients have now become millionaires with their equity? We're out there creating millionaires. Agents seem to think of themselves as selling homes. You're not. There's no shelf behind you lined up with little homes, no inventory of homes you have to unload. Hey, come on down for our Labor Day blowout. It's not happening. What we do for a living is we reduce stress, right? We're experience creators. We're problem solvers. Phil Jones said, agents are mind maker-uppers. Tom Ferry said, you get paid in direct proportion to the size of the problems you solve. What agents are not is salespeople. Yes, we use sales tools and techniques, trying to help people get out of their own way, but you're not selling anything. You're a doctor of real estate, right? You're a professional athlete of real estate. Think about that one. The only difference between professional athletes and amateur athletes, other than maybe how good they are at their sport, but the one true difference, professional athletes get paid to work out. The rest of us have to pay to work out. Now, when you're out there knocking on doors, are you working out? Damn right you are. Are you going to get paid for it? You better. Well, then you're a professional athlete in real estate. What's this rejection nonsense? No matter how we reframe it, and we do need to reframe it, here's what the agents have to know. There are people out there right now that need them, and they don't know how to find them. And that is why you door knock. Now, a little while ago, I mentioned tools and techniques to help people. That brings us to step 3, and step 3 is going to be the fun one because I'm going to introduce the dialogue to you. Step 3 is make it easy. Now, the number one tool an agent has in their tool bag is what they say. We know this. We talk for a living. And we've made it fun by phoning a friend, and we've made it fearless by reframing what we're doing. But to really make it easy, we need to maybe have a great mindset, a couple of great techniques, and a really great tool. The tool is going to be the dialogue. So first, I'll share with you one more mindset, and then a couple of techniques, and then this dialogue called the Can You Imagine that's been really, really working well. One more mindset. This is a great exercise to have with your agents. Ask them how many homes are for sale in their market. Think about it. They'll tell you they know roughly, they'll calculate, and then they'll eventually approximate some number of homes that are currently listed in the market. They'll say it's about 2,100 homes. And then you'll say you're close. Would you like to know exactly how many homes are for sale? They'll say, sure, I'd love to know, coach. And then you say, all of them. For the right terms, right? The right symptoms, Every single home is for sale. That is an extremely important mindset for them to keep it when they're, whether it's knocking on doors or talking to people. Every home is for sale. Every person you meet is a client. If not now, later. Your job is to build rapport and trust. Okay, a couple of great techniques. Always have a flyer. Now, that seems obvious, right? It's not the flyer, it's the delivery. As you introduce yourself at the door, and as you mention the subject property or the open house or whatever it is you're doing, you're going to put that flyer in your right hand and you're going to reach out with it. It is amazing. People with double locked security doors will just automatically unlock the door and reach out to take the flyer without even thinking. If you ever want to be a smash and grab type thief, I think that's the way to go in. Just have a nice flyer. It's even more important than that, though. Think back to the mirror and match things you've learned, NLP. What does the act of handing a flyer to someone resemble? It's a handshake. Talk about rapport building. All of this going on subconsciously in the homeowner's mind. Now, adding to this technique, never carry a clipboard. Never, ever, ever carry a clipboard. People with clipboards are scary, right? People with clipboards are tallying things and they're scoring things and they're about to tell you how much you owe or how you failed, like your driver's exam. One more technique. There's two of you now because we're making it fun. Stand on either side of the door, facing each other with your inside shoulder dropped. So if you're the homeowner, those of you watching this right now, my partner and I are going to be standing like this, facing each other with our inside shoulder dropped to the door. Why? Because that's the stance of two people accepting another one into their conversation. That's the feeling the homeowner should have. Not two people standing in the doorway taking up the peephole. That's scary. Two people welcoming them into the conversation. Talk about rapport. Okay, now let's make it easy with a really great tool. I'm going to go into chat and hopefully link this. I don't think it's in there yet. No. Okay. This is the dialogue. By the way, they're not scripts. You know why they're not scripts? Nobody likes scripts. Oh, I don't want to have a script. I don't want to memorize a script. Script won't sound like me. Fantastic. We don't do scripts anymore. We do confidence dialogues. What's that? Well, if you learn this dialogue, you would be more confident talking to people. That would be a good thing, right? That's a confidence dialogue. Okay, so this is called the Can You Imagine? Remember, the greatest tool is what we say. We're going to go through this in a minute. Let me give you a little philosophical underpinning to why this works so well. Why are we going to do that? Because knowing how a tool works, why it works, allows you to use it in a lot of different situations. Let's not teach people how to fish, but why what we're doing works when we fish. Talk about never going hungry again. Okay, so some philosophical underpinnings. Tim Ferriss said, life punishes the vague wish and rewards the specific ask. Love that line. Useful in a lot of different settings, goals, visions. But for us, it translates into a very simple concept. Broad questions lead to narrow no's. We're going to use that. Here's another one. People's auto defenses decline as they relax. As they become more comfortable, the beginning, this person on my doorstep, I don't know, my answer is no, no matter what they say, starts to melt away. They become more comfortable. We're going to use that. Humor increases rapport. We're definitely going to use that. Finally, discussing your dreams makes it very hard to say no to the next question. And we're going to use that because that's the crux of most of the dialogues right now. Pursue the dream, do the 10-minute close, but we'll go through that. Okay, so let's take a look at this dialogue. Hopefully you're able to open it on your screen. You're going to recognize some Phil Jones in here because he's awesome. Hi, my name is brokerage. Hey, how much do you know about your neighbors over on Apple Street? Not much. Why? Go into your 2 sentence. We just listed their home. We just sold their home. We're going to have an open house. Whatever it is that has you there. They say wow or okay or whatever they say. I'm not sure if it's for you, but we have more buyers writing offers in this neighborhood. So I'm out knocking on doors and asking, have you heard any of your neighbors discuss selling their home in the near future? That's a broad question. What's it going to get? A narrow no. And that's fine. No, not off the top of my head. Not at the top of your head, right? Remember, mirror and match, repeat the last few words. If you're feeling even a little bit comfortable here, and if there's 2 of you, I'm sure you do, you can insert a little joke here. And if your neighbor's thinking about selling their home, no, not that I can think of, not that you can think of, then you lean in. Any neighbors you wish would sell their home and move? Because I'll go knock on their door. Chuckle, chuckle. Rapport goes up. Self-defenses come down. Then we move to another basic, broad question. How about you? Have you put any thought into selling your home in the near future? Broad question, narrow no. Here's what's happening now. They've gotten 2 of these. Starting to feel pretty good about it. I might get 1 or 2 more, and then I'll be able to get these people off my doorstep. But they're relaxing. We're now going to go into the third and most important question. It's going to start out sounding like a broad question, but we're going to turn it into a run-on, and we're going to make it very specific. This is the only part of this entire dialogue that needs to be memorized. The rest is a general idea. This is using NLP, and we're banking on the last 2 questions we add. So the last one goes like this. Can you imagine a circumstance that might cause you to want to sell your home, a certain price maybe, or a dream home becoming available? First of all, the word imagine is very, very important. All decisions are made twice. First, they have to be imagined, then they have to be thought about. We're asking their subconscious to imagine this before we ever get going. The second part of this is emphasizing the word want. What you're going to see agents do as they learn this dialogue is they'll say, can you imagine a circumstance that might make you move? Make you. Nobody wants to be made to do anything. We just ruin the whole line. That might make you want to sell your home. If we stop there, we'd have a third broad question. You'd get another narrow no. But we didn't stop. We did a run-on, and we put 2 shiny objects in front of them. A certain price maybe, or a dream home becoming available. The second one doesn't matter as much. If the person answers the door with a kid on their hip and a kid on their ankle, you might say, or a bigger home. I did this once where an older gentleman answered, he's probably the age I am now, but we're not going to think about that. And I said a certain price maybe, or a smaller home when you retire. And he said, well, yes, when I retire, I'll want a smaller home, but that's forever. Now, we don't know if he knows. I certainly don't know myself what forever is, so we always ask. I said, well, how long is forever? It's going to be at least 6 more months. He didn't like his job. He wanted to be retired. 6 more months is forever for him. I'm thinking, geez, I should start lining up videographers. We don't know till we ask. But the point of this is, this question will triple or quadruple the number of people who engage you in a conversation. Now, what does that mean in the real world? If you go knock 100 doors, it used to be 1 person would talk to you and 99 wouldn't. Well, now 4 people will talk to you and 96 won't. It's still 96 doors closing, but you quadrupled the number of people you're having conversations with. That's going to quadruple the amount of business you do. So ask this line exactly the way it's written. They'll give you an answer, almost always financial, almost always higher than the market value of their home. That's fine. Never going to bring it up again. It's never going to get mentioned again. The next sentence, the next line, the next reply to when they say, well, if I could sell it for blah, blah, blah. Wow. And where would you go? If you did sell it for that, where would you go? Now we explore the dream. Do not ask, please, don't ask dumbass realtor questions. Well, what school district would that be? And how many bedrooms would that? Nobody talks like that. What we want to do is pursue the dream. Where would you go? I'd go to the beach. Really? Why the beach? What do you love about the beach? Well, how would that impact you? What would that do for your family? A great thing to say in the middle of this, wow, just looking at you, your eyes, the way they change when you're talking about this. This is really important to you. I want them to explore the dream and what it means, what it feels like, because it's from the heart. We make decisions eventually in our heart. Now, once we've got them to explore that dream, we're going to start backing out of this. We're going to do a little bit of a takeaway close. Listen, I'm not making any promises. Subconsciously, we just put them in the position of asking us to do this. Heck, you didn't even know I was going to be here. Let's do this. Another really important, it's not a question. Shall we? What do you think about? Can we? It's a statement. Let's do this. I'm going to come by tomorrow for 10 minutes. That's the first cap. I'm not going to be here longer than 10 minutes. We're creating safety around this now. You show me around your home, show me the highlights, show me the lowlights. If you want to insert another joke, say something like, treat me like your priest. Show me everything. And then I'm going to go back to the office. That's the second cap. I'm not going to sit here an hour and a half and try to sell you life insurance or whatever it is they fear that we're going to do. I'm only going to be here 10 minutes, and then I'm going to go back to the office and I'm going to put together a report on what this crazy market might be willing to do. Look, or listen if you're picking up on the cues of their, I forget the name for it. You know what I'm talking about in NLP, whether they auditory or they visual. Anyway, look, if we could actually do this, if we could get you and your family into your dream home, that would be great, wouldn't it? Well, yeah, it's definitely worth 10 minutes of your time then, right? Oh, that's the killer close right now. You put something out, you follow the dream, and then you put something out for 10 minutes. You have to be a really certain kind of person to say, no, my dream's not worth 10 minutes. Then you close with your alternative choice. Is this time tomorrow good, or would you rather have it later in the afternoon? What happens when you do this? You might go back to the office and find out there's no way to get them where they want to be. That's okay, though. You've just added somebody to your database who you have rapport with and you've developed some trust with. You've been in their home. You'll be there when they do need an agent. Or they may not know just what it takes to move to their dream. A lot of people are much closer to their dreams than they think. That goes for all of us too. So by looking at this, we could go back and start showing them how we could get these people into their dream home, which is kind of what we do anyway, isn't it? It's called a circle prospecting script, but it's the can you imagine dialogue. All right, so let me wrap this up a little bit. We have a few minutes left. Good. Today, I covered making door knocking fun, right, and profitable. And we talked about 3 important keys: make it fun, make it fearless, make it easy. The dialogue that I just gave you might be the most tangible tool in this webinar. But don't neglect the first 2 keys, right? Make it fun and make it fearless. I want you to write this down, because if you don't use them, if you don't use those first 2 keys, there's no such thing as an effective dialogue with a hesitant agent. There is no such thing as an effective dialogue with a hesitant agent. When you make it fun, when you make it fearless, and when you make it easy, it's an endless generation of new business helping people move, hopefully, into their dream homes. That's door knocking for fun and profit. Okay, do we have any questions? What questions do any of you have? Give it a second. Doesn't look like we have any. Okay, I'm going to assume that meant I did a good job and not that I confused everybody so that they can't even figure it out. I hope this is helpful. I hope you guys go out and have an amazing day. Go make an impact in somebody's life. Thank you.